What if your cat secretly can't stand something you do every single day? You'd want to know, right? Here's the problem. Cats don't complain. They don't bark like dogs. They don't whine or make a scene. They just turn around and quietly disappear. And most of you never figure out what drove them away in the first place. Some of what you're about to hear is going to catch you completely off guard because these aren't obvious mistakes. These are things that feel loving, things that seem totally normal, things you'd never think twice about. Let's kick things off with the one mistake almost everybody makes. 1. Burning candles and using essential oils. That vanilla candle you light every evening to unwind after a long day, your cat is not unwinding, not even a little. While you're soaking in the ambiance, your cat is essentially trapped inside a suffocating cloud of scent that's completely overwhelming their senses. A cat's nose carries over 200 million scent receptors. Yours has around 5 million. So that gentle lavender candle, to them, it's like being locked inside a room packed with open perfume bottles and zero way out. But it doesn't stop there. Essential oils like tea tree, eucalyptus, and peppermint aren't just unpleasant for cats, they're actually toxic. Cats are missing a specific liver enzyme called glucuronal transferase, which means their bodies literally cannot break down certain compounds found in these oils. Simply running a diffuser in the same room can trigger respiratory distress, drooling, vomiting, and, in serious cases, liver damage. Here's what makes this so sneaky. Your cat won't make a dramatic scene. No coughing, no running away in a panic. They just quietly slip out of the room or start napping somewhere else entirely, and you never connect the dots. That silent withdrawal is actually something we're going to circle back to at the end of this video, because the way cats go quiet when something's wrong is one of the most misunderstood and heartbreaking things about them. If you love your candles, here's the move. Switch to cat-safe alternatives. Keep the room ventilated, and never run an essential oil diffuser anywhere your cat can't freely escape from. Your wind-down routine shouldn't come at the cost of their health. 2. Forcing them to share territory. Got more than one cat? Then here's a question that might sting a little. Have you ever considered that one of them might be silently miserable? Most people just assume cats will work it out on their own. You bring a new cat home, set out the same food bowls, the same water dish, maybe even the same litter box, and expect everyone to get along just fine. But that's not how cats operate at all. Cats are solitary survivors by nature. They don't form packs, Sharing isn't in their instincts. When you force two cats to use the same resources without giving each of them their own dedicated space, what you're actually doing is lighting the fuse on a low-grade, territorial war that never ends. A 2017 study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that resource competition is one of the leading drivers of chronic stress in multi-cat households. And the scary part? It doesn't always look like fighting. Sometimes it's one cat quietly refusing to eat. Sometimes it's one of them avoiding the litter box altogether or hiding under the bed for hours, while the other one patrols the house like they own the place. Because in their mind, they do. The fix isn't complicated, but most people skip right over it. One litter box per cat, plus one extra. Separate feeding stations, multiple elevated resting spots. Vertical space matters just as much as floor space, because height equals safety in a cat's mind. You don't need a bigger house. You just need to stop making them compete for every single resource. 3. Going for the belly rub. When they show you their stomach, your cat flips onto their back and exposes their belly. What do? Part honest. You go straight in for the rub, don't you? And then 2 seconds later, they've got your hand locked in their grip, biting it, kicking it with their back legs, and you're sitting there completely baffled. Here's the truth. When a cat shows you their belly, it's not an invitation. It's a statement. They're telling you, right now, I feel safe enough with you to expose the most vulnerable part of my body. That's it. It's trust, not a request. The moment you reach in and touch it, you violated the very thing they were trying to express. Think about it from their side. Their belly houses every single vital organ. In the wild, leaving it exposed means certain death. So when your cat does it at home, it's genuinely one of the greatest compliments they can give you. But most owners take that compliment as a green light to grab. And the cat learns something painful, that showing trust leads to being touched in a way they never asked for. A study out of the University of Lincoln found that cats who were regularly petted in preferred spots like the cheeks and the base of the ears showed significantly more positive responses and far fewer signs of agitation compared to cats touched on the belly or tail. The research confirmed what animal behaviorists have been saying for years. A cat showing something does not mean a cat wants it touched. So next time your cat rolls over, try this instead. Just be present. Talk to them softly. Give them a slow blink. Let them own that moment of vulnerability without turning it into something physical. That's how you build a bond that actually holds up over time. 4. Staring directly into their eyes. Have you ever locked eyes with your cat and held the gaze, fully convinced you were sharing some deep emotional moment? What if that moment was actually stressing them out? In the human world, eye contact signals connection, honesty, attention, love. In the cat world, it means something completely different. A direct, unbroken stare is one of the most aggressive signals a cat can receive. Among cats, prolonged eye contact is a challenge. It's what they do right before a confrontation. So while you're sitting there, gazing into your cat's eyes, thinking you're bonding, your cat is sitting there thinking something is seriously wrong. Here's where it gets interesting. You've probably noticed your cat doing that slow blink, that half-closed, drowsy-looking thing they do when they're relaxed. That's not random. A 2020 study from the University of Sussex found that cats were significantly more likely to approach a person who slow blinked at them compared to someone holding a neutral expression. The researchers described it as a form of positive emotional communication between cats and humans. In other words, the slow blink is the real connection. The long stare is the threat. So here's the shift. Stop trying to hold your cat's gaze the way you would with a person. Instead, look at them softly and slowly close your eyes for just a second, then open them. Stay calm, don't expect anything, and just watch what happens. Most of the time, they'll blink right back. That tiny exchange says more than 100 long stares ever could. Your cat is telling you, I trust you. And this time you're actually speaking their language. 5. Moving their stuff without warning. Have you ever rearranged your furniture and noticed your cat acting completely off for the next few days? Most people write it off as their cat being dramatic. But what's actually going on runs a lot deeper than that. Cats don't experience their home the way you do. You see rooms and furniture. They see a carefully mapped out territory where every object, every corner, every scent marker serves a specific purpose. When you move their bed, relocate their litter box, shift the couch, or rearrange a shelf they like to perch on, you're not just redecorating. You're erasing their map. And a cat without a map feels like a cat without a home. This isn't just behavioral theory. Cats rely heavily on spatial memory. They build detailed mental blueprints of their environment and reinforce them through scent marking. That's why your cat rubs their face on the edge of your couch or the corner of a wall. It's not just a cute quirk, and they're laying down invisible markers that say, this is mine, this is safe.